Still here. Hey, Bill. Hey, sick day. Hey, partly sunny skies here in Vermont, day 3. It's also day 3 of our thaw. I mean, there's still snow on the ground, but I hear blue jays and dripping here between peace and love. There's the snow stake. Remember a couple mornings ago it was at 10 inches. What's that say now? We've lost about 5 inches down here. That's what happens when it stays warm at night. And what I mean by warm at night is this morning the low temperature was about 37 degrees. And we have some blue sky anyway. So if you can't have fresh powder or nice groomers, we'll take spring snow. That's what we ended up with yesterday afternoon. And that's going to be the case today and tomorrow and Wednesday before the next cold wave. Summit of Mount Washington this morning. Second day in a row where you can see over the top of the cloud there's an undercast. That is fog below the surface, and it's an inversion. Believe it or not, there's a light flow from the north this morning. We talked about it last week, how we saw high pressure coming into central southeastern Canada. There is some cold way up there. It's about a 1036 or 7 high. It's pretty strong, but it's moving right along, and the cold air is not really coming in. Just enough of a flow to keep a place like Boston, probably with a wind off the ocean in the 40s, while inland, if you can get some sunshine like we had in Connecticut yesterday, that was wild. That was awesome. It could be 60. And not good. There's another system coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. It's coming up. There was some surf generated by the last one that went by on Saturday. Storms out in the ocean. There's the warm winds surf cam. This morning, looks like 5 or 6 foot swell, maybe 9-11 second period. So there's some surf going on. Surf, ski, weather. I think the faders went surfing yesterday. And I learned, I'm not positive, but I believe this skier next to my name on my snow report here at Jay, I think that's Amy. Amy Fader. I didn't know who it was. I thought it was somebody else. Anyhow, that's Amy's condo right there. Thank you, Amy and Tim, for the hospitality. So we want to see the timing on this next all-rain event coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. This is system number 2 of last 3 days. Comes in tonight. Most of the rain looks like it misses here at Jay. It's an overnight situation. There's no cold around, so it's going to be in the 30s and 40s with probably less than a half inch of rain for most. I know that last one really overproduced in southeastern New England. That's a fast mover. So where's the cold? Let's go to the Wednesday map. There's Wednesday morning. There is a cold front there, stretches down much of the nation. We've been talking about it for a week now. When's that next cold front coming in? And it looks like it's going to just kind of ease in here Wednesday into Thursday. So what about system number 3 coming out of the Gulf of Mexico? Here we go. Here it comes. Where's the cold? That's all rain? Are you kidding? Central Maine looks like it tries to change to snow. What a wholesale change with the Euro teasing central and southern New England with snow on Wednesday and Thursday. Was anyone really buying that anyway? So that takes off. And then there is colder air coming at us, but the forecast for system number 4 in 10 days coming out of the Gulf of Mexico, the track of that one has now shifted farther to the west and north. So even though there's cold coming in ahead of it, there's a chance that that's more rain than snow. And I know this is going to change. There's a lot of cold coming in right behind that. The heart of this next cold wave, which begins Wednesday, is probably about next Monday or so. Here's the Jay Peak 14 day. Let's do Jay because that's where I am. Usually where I am, that's where I kind of focus. Anyhow, there's the cold wave coming in this weekend. How much new snow? Oh yeah, and then the cold wave kind of lifts out the middle of next week. Oh my goodness, you kidding? That's a brief cold wave. I don't think we're going to have an old-fashioned March. We are in mud season right here, right now. All right, so let's do the coast-to-coast 10-day snowfall guess from the Euro. There's that It's Wednesday night, Thursday, trying to snow a little bit in Maine. Look at that, Nantucket trying to get a little snow Thursday night. You kidding? Sure. All right, then the next system comes in. And there is some snow. There is snow with that, a mix. I think this is going to end up being a little colder than today's run. So there is snow in the New England forecast over the next 10 days. Not a lot. Not like yesterday when I showed the GFS 2-week forecast. That was just sort of your Sunday eye candy to cheer you up and cheer myself up. The GFS does have a little more snow because it goes out for 2 weeks, but not a lot like it had yesterday. What else did I want to talk about? Look how far. They pile the snow way back in there early in the season because they know more and more of it's going to come in. How about the snow in the west? Talking about moving snow. It looks like the snow is winding down. The blizzard warnings have expired. Caltrans says we have about 10 of these blowers, and 2 of them are out of operation right now. So that's a 20% reduction in your force to remove the snow. Most snow I could find was 87 inches, Donner Pass, California. And they didn't put really the wind speeds in there. So the most wind I saw was about 65 miles an hour, but I'm sure there were higher gusts that just weren't recorded. Anyhow, those storms, when they come into the West Coast like that, they push a lot of warm air ahead of them. So when they track into central Canada, it's a wave of warmth that comes east beneath them. And then part of the energy is going through the Gulf of Mexico. So that's where we're getting these Gulf of Mexico systems. So it's the California storms splitting with the heaviest, deepest low pressure going north of New England. That draws in the warmth at most levels of the atmosphere and sort of overruns this slightly cooler air coming in from the northeast today. Pretty interesting, changing by the minute. Wasn't it just sunny here a second ago? This is how it worked all day long yesterday. You thought you were in the sun, and then 2 seconds later you're in the fog. I mean, the temperature's gone down probably from about 40 to 37 just with this fog. Fog, not necessarily a snow eater. We just say that because when it does get more humid and it warms up, fog develops. So I like to be optimistic and say fog is future snow, but it's not going to snow here for a couple days anyway. Not looking too good. So, the ski resorts prepare for this by putting deep snow on several trails. So there's going to be several trails that survive. But the natural snow trails in New England, they're dwindling quickly. Hope on the slopes. Said that about the weather, but what a lot of love around here yesterday. Cancer survivors, cancer patients, family and friends of cancer, and everyone that's interested in just raising awareness and money and funds and having fun was here yesterday. And I've met so many people. I'm going to have to do a separate video for all the people I mentioned and I said hello to and said hello to me. And I said, yeah, you're going to be an out the door. You're going to be an out the door. Well, I'm going to have to do an out the door weather and just more. Forget the weather. I'm going to do a just more from this weekend. But here's a little and more from yesterday. Many new friends, many old friends, and a lot of love. And the dinner served by Steve Wright, GM. It comes from the top down. All right. Speaking of the top down, it's almost top down weather. Fog's coming from the top down, bottom up. All right. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Oh, late breaking, too. I just got these photographs from Tim. Tim Fader in Rhode Island yesterday. He chose to surf instead of ski. He's been on a really busy schedule, and he said the surf was kind of unruly. And it didn't clean up until later in the day, but it was a beautiful day on the coast. I think this is Newport, where it was 60 degrees yesterday. And unruly, large ocean swell from these storms that are pretty much lined up across the Atlantic Ocean. So we do surf and ski. He's the ultimate surf ski athlete. Tim and Amy, and I think Vic was down there surfing too. All right, missed you guys up here, but catch you next time. Thanks for everything. All right, it's 10 to 9. It was clear at sunrise. We're on the flyer. Are we gonna come above the cloud? It feels pretty thick, I'm not sure. It's even drizzling a little bit.
I'm so excited.
What's your name? Where are you from?
We're the Reitmeyers and the Sweeneys. We're all from Marshfield.
Oh, neat. Yeah, I grew up in Dennis.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We live in Weymouth now, where Don Kent used to live.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Were you expecting sunshine today?
Yes.
Right up there. See how bright that cloud is?
Yes, I see it. I see the blue sky.
We
We were expecting an inversion, and that didn't happen.
9:30 update. Getting just above one layer of cloud. Almost an undercast. It's like a fog bow or something. What causes that? Well, see, cold air is heavy air, and without much wind on the flyer, no wind, that's very unusual. You get blue sky and subsidence over the top of the inversion layer, which is going to take time to either mix out or burn off. Spring skiing until further notice. Captain of Team Dipshits, Brian Early. Hope on the Slopes Sunday, March 3rd. What a beautiful view today. Thanks for having me, Brian. We've got an undercast. Here we are coming out of the clouds again. What a fickle day. It keeps changing every minute. And still some natural snow trails open. It's almost 4 o'clock and we're in the last chair. What's your name? Where are you from?
Noah Searson, live in South Burlington and work for NBC5 as one of the sports people here for Hope on the Slopes today at Jay Peak.
Noah, say your last name again?
Searson.
Searson.
With a C.
I think I know you.
Tyler Jankowski, also with NBC5 here for Hope on the Slopes from Burlington, Vermont.
Tyler, the weatherman. Did we get the forecast right today or not? It was a tough
Depends
day.
on when you looked out the window or hit the trails.
Right. We've gone sun, fog, sun.
Hey, we hiked up to the top, got exhausted, but there was some good undercast.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I saw that photo. Look at this. So people say fog is a snow eater, but actually fog is a result of kind of snow melting and condensing. The vapor condenses. So just as a crow is not responsible for people dying, it just follows wars. Fog is a result of warming and humidity. What's up, friend? Whose choice was this again?
Powder day.
Andrew's gonna get the picture of the group.
If you can't see me, I can't see you, so that's it. And then otherwise, we're good. Thank you. Happy Hope on the Slope. Woo! Yeah!
Of hope. 1, 2, 3.
Do a pizza. Look at Daddy skis. Look at Daddy skis. Do a pizza. Stand. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
Jay Peak certainly at the top of the list.
Tyler just said
but
my
also
name.
the
I
North
didn't know he was
Country
speaking
Hospital.
tonight. That's awesome.
Also the Community National Bank.
To the Cancer Society back in the 70s after my dad passed away in 1976. Eat it. Eat the mic. Wow, now it's loud to me. So, as I said, my dad passed away in 1976, but in 2020, I was having some difficulties myself with my throat, and I lived with it, went to the doctor. I sounded like that I had marbles in my throat for months, and finally got sent to an ENT and was diagnosed with vocal cord cancer, which I was advised to. Hi, Hen. I was sent to Dana-Farber Cancer, and she'd like to say that one of her favorite things being here at Jay was being out in the trails and in the woods on a powder day and hearing people hooting and hollering, making noise, yelling for their friends who they can't see through the trees. So whatever your desired howl or wail that you use, if we can all send that out into the world right now to help heal cancer, to let those who are suffering know that we're here and we care about them. Let's have at it.